Recording has started.
Perfect. So thank you all for being able to be on the panel today. We're really excited. And this is the How to Uni panel with some incredible students from a variety of places and spaces at UFE and a variety of programs. And I'll introduce myself first. My name is Megan. I am a UFE alum from the Global Development Studies program, and I work for Student Life now. And I will pass it off to Bridget.
Hi, I'm Bridget Hill, and I'm in my third year of business administration. I'm currently studying for the diploma. I'm 6 courses away from graduating, so I'm really excited. I'm also an Indigenous Student Center peer mentor, and I've been doing that for about a year, and it's really rewarding, and I highly recommend you go check it out and just meet new people, make connections. We meet Tuesday, Thursdays, and an interesting fact about me is I like to watch foreign movies and listen to foreign music.
Nice, thank you. I'll pass it off to Kylie.
Hi everyone, my name's Kylie and I'm in my 5th and final year of my Bachelor of Science with a biology major and a chemistry minor. A couple affiliations I have with UFE is I'm a SLG mentor and leader, I'm an NSO student leader, and I'm also a peer leader with the PRLC. In my free time, I love to go 5-pin bowling.
Fateh?
Hi everyone, my name is Fateh and I am a second year computer information system student. I'm trying to do my minor in networking as well as in professional communication, so that will help me in future. I like to play soccer in my free time and I also sing occasionally, so that's everything about me.
Melanie?
Hi, my name is Melanie. I'm a 4th year science student at UFE. I'm majoring in biology and minoring in kinesiology. I have a few affiliations at UFE, so I actually work with the Peer Resource and Leadership Center. I'm a level 3 lead mentor, and I'm also an executive in the Pre-Med Student Association and UFE West. And in my very little free time, I like to cook and go on walks.
Karina?
Hi, I'm Karina. I'm in my 3rd year of sciences, majoring in biology. I'm a community assistant at Baker House, and what I like to do during my free time is to read.
Cambry?
Hi everyone, my name is Cambry. I am a 4th year student at UFE in the Bachelor of Arts program, so I'm doing 2 extended minors in theater and media and communication studies. And I have a few different affiliations at UFE as well. I am an L3 senior mentor in UFE Lead. I volunteer with the PRLC Peer Support Line. I'm a mentor in UFE International Friends Without Borders, and I am an SLG leader as well for Max 130. Aside from school, I make music and I like to sing, play guitar, and piano.
Great. Sandeep?
Hi, my name is Sandeep. I'm a 4th year Bachelor of Arts student, majoring in English, minoring in geography, and other affiliations I have at UFE are Circle K and the English Association. And in my free time, I like to go on hikes or even walks.
Zane?
Hello, my name is Zane. I'm in my 2nd year of the Bachelor of Integrated Studies, planning on completing a double minor, one in math and the other in French. I'm currently involved with UFE Lead as an L2 mentor, and in the past I've also been involved with NSO and Friends Without Borders. Both I would highly recommend. For my free time, I like to play a lot of sports, soccer, and then I also like playing games like chess.
Great. And Hillary?
Hello, my name is Hillary. I am a UFE alum and a UFE employee. So I graduated a few years ago with a Bachelor of Science in Ecology, and also a Bachelor of Arts in Rhetoric. So I did a lot of different courses, absolutely love learning. I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm back as an employee working as a transition engagement coordinator, helping to bring you NSO programming, and also as the UFE lead program coordinator, which is an awesome program that I think everybody should check out. Thanks so much, everyone, for your introductions. I'm going to pass it back to Megan so she can get started on our panel questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, let's start with a fun one. So the first question is, what is your advice to a first-year student at UFE? I'm going to say we'll have 3 folks share, and then we can pass it off to the next question, but I will let you unmute yourself and go for it.
Yeah, so maybe I'll start here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my first piece of advice in general would be, especially now that everything's online, is to still make an effort to connect with your professors and other students, colleagues in your class. A great way to do that is to get involved in programs. There are a lot of socials that are going around online during this semester, so you can check those out. Particularly, I think what separates UFE maybe from some other universities is that the professors, especially the first years, are there to teach and to help in any way they can. I know in the past I've asked a teacher, say, look, I'm pretty stressed. Can you just give me an extra day? And they actually did. They were willing to give me an extra 2 days for an assignment, which I think is more than generous. So that would be my piece of advice, just to reach out if you're ever in any situation and you want a bit of help.
I would completely echo what Zane said. Ask for help if you need it. There are so many of us that want to help, and there's so much amazing help at UFB, so many incredible resources, and so many opportunities too to make the most out of your university experience. I think going to university is so much more than just going to class and going home, or now that we're online, logging into your class and then logging off. There's so many more opportunities to grow as a person outside of your classes, and getting involved is a great way to do that. It's also a great way to connect with people and create those communities that you might not be getting if you're having asynchronous classes. And yeah, connect with people. There's a lot of people you can learn from, and there's a lot of people who are here to help you.
Any other ones? Any other advice, or do you think we're good?
The only advice I will give is, when you are starting the university, it's best to bump up your grades to the highest level, because if they're above 4, you can keep going with the good grades until the end of study. But if you are not focusing on them on the first semester, it's hard to grow them. So that's what I feel when I entered here.
Amazing. Perfect. Thank you so much for those wonderful pieces of advice. We can move on to the next question. Okay, so how can we get connected with UFE if fall is online? Which it is. So how can students get connected? Maybe 2 to 3 people?
Well, first and foremost, I would recommend My Campus Life. There's a ton of events on that page, and there's a club or association for everybody there. And I would also try to navigate social media and find a club or association that you're interested in, because they'll also be posting events there and other ways you can get involved.
Any other thoughts to that one? That was a great answer. So
I just wanted to also say that UFE Reach is a really great way to get involved on campus, and also challenge yourself to be active and healthy with your body and your mind this semester. So you can find information about that on My Campus Life. as well. I think they also have a Facebook group, and our Student Life social media will be broadcasting lots of opportunities, so feel free to follow Student Life there as well.
So a student did ask, how does UFE do breaks? So do you get a normal break like during semesters? And is anybody able to answer how UFE's breaks go?
I can kind of answer that one. If we're talking about during class, if it's a longer class, some profs may give you like a 5 or 10 minute break to like re-meet and regroup, like after you refresh yourself. And then we have winter break, kind of after our semester, and then we also have like a little exam break from the end of classes leading up until your exams. And then in the winter time, usually we have a reading break, so that's a couple weeks, or it's a week or 2 weeks, I can't remember, but that's a good time to like catch up on anything or prep for midterms. Yeah.
Perfect. So then another person asked, I'm just trying to find the question here. Oh, yes. How many of you work while doing classes? And is it difficult to work while taking classes? Let's actually see that again. Put your hand up if you work. Put on your fingers, if possible, how many hours a week you're working, just out of curiosity, if you can. 20? Oh, hey, Prab. So wait, show me one more time. Okay, it's a lot. Like a lot of you are doing 20. So it looks like a lot of you are working quite a bit. Let's talk a bit about that. How do you manage school and your work? We could get a couple people to touch on that. Prab, I notice you're here too. Feel free to chime in.
For sure, I would love to talk here. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. And firstly, it's a struggle. Currently, I was studying, and I was just looking at that. So journaling, just writing everything down. So I broke it down by day. So 21st September, 24th, 25th, writing everything down on what I'm going to do in what hours really helps me a lot. And I know Student Life is a very big advocate on self-care. So just caring for yourself. Currently, what I'm doing for my self-care is this. I bought some new plants, taking care of them, have a diffuser. Just these little things provide me with joy, and that's what I do. But when it gets too hard, and it does get overwhelming when you work a lot and you take like 4 courses, what I personally like to do is just give my professors an email and just like let them know that it's getting very overwhelming for me and I might need to take a little bit of break. So, and we are very fortunate that UFE does have great professors, and they do really feel for us students. And my experiences with professors have always been like, it's okay, you can take your time, but some people abuse it by just doing the assignments, and they say that, oh, sorry, I didn't do my assignments. Like emailing professors after 3 days and telling them I wasn't able to do it because I was overwhelmed. Don't do it. Just like 1 or 2 days before, I'm feeling very overwhelmed. Can I get an extension for this? And all of my experience with it has been successful. They have always been like, yeah, for sure, go ahead. And other than that, my workplace, I'm very blessed to work in UFB SUS, like Student Union Society, and they are very accommodating for me, but I do know that's not the case for everybody. So prioritizing, if you need to take a day off, just take a day off. It wouldn't hurt. So this is sort of like my strategies that I come across from my experience of like short academic career of 1.5 years, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say on that.
Very well said. Does anybody else have like an experience with working? Seems like a lot of you do, and taking classes. Can anyone speak to that and how you're managing that?
So when I came here, like I was struggling between work and study, so I couldn't make enough time to study. So I did some experiments at that time, because even after trying so hard, I wasn't getting enough education, right? So I experimented a lot, and the thing that worked best for me was I used to work in the days and then study in the nights after like 12 p.m. because 2 hours in the night is like 4 hours in a day. You're not distracted by anything, and you learn the most at that time. That's why I'm sleepless all the time.
I think I could also add to this one is I would say always kind of put your education and studies first. So I will always book off like the weekend before a busy week. So you can do that like in advance, so you know your schedule, kind of accommodate for that, so you know you're not going to be overwhelmed, and just plan ahead is really helpful. And I would say if you can, I would apply for like scholarships, bursaries, even a student loan. Like I use that as like a backup if anything's gonna like if I can't work or I like for tuition only, and you get a lot of like bursaries through there as well. So being able to have different ways of income and still be like not have the pressure to work.
And keep a color-coded planner. Yes. Have a color for everything. There's a lot of hours in the day when you start mapping out where you're gonna do hour by hour. You can actually fit a lot more in than you think.
Incredible. These are really good tips, and I feel like a couple of the things that were mentioned kind of tie into our next question. Actually, Prab, you spoke to it a bit, is self-care. So let's talk a little bit about, how do you manage your self-care? What does self-care look like for you? And let's get a couple people who I haven't heard from yet. You know who you are, so I will mute myself and let you just chime on in. Let's hear from some people that I haven't heard from yet.
For
Okay,
self-care.
so
Oh,
you can go first. Sorry.
sorry. Thank you. So for self-care, I love to go out in nature, whether that's with music or just listening to, like going into a trail and listening to nature. And I love going to the gym. And I feel like that release of like the buildup of stress from your entire day or just the week, it really helps just pumping some iron. That's so cheesy, but it's true. Yeah, that's some things I like to do for self-care.
Hi, I'm Bridget. So what I like to do for self-care is I try to get everything I need to do done before Sunday. So on Sunday, I have at least 4 hours, at least to myself, to relax and I guess like relieve stress, whether that's like cleaning, because I like to clean, because I like a clean house, or like I like to journal, or I also like to go on walks and hikes. So that's what I recommend is probably setting one day at least with a couple hours to have self-care for yourself so you don't feel overwhelmed all the time.
For my self-care, every single day after 8 p.m., I go outside for a late night walk, and then I'll put time towards reading for an hour before I go to bed, so I'm not thinking about biology.
For me, I kind of like to take Friday evenings off just for myself. As long as I've scheduled my week properly, usually I do have that time and I don't feel guilty about taking that time. I just like to have Friday evenings off. I just like to relax at home, maybe some Netflix with my boyfriend, maybe taking a bubble bath with a glass of wine, just taking that time for myself and just relaxing and reflecting on my week.
Incredible answers. These are really good. Does anybody else have anything else they want to add before we move on to the next question?
I know I mentioned it earlier, but something that I really like to do for my self-care is like going to the gym. Like it really helps me playing basketball. But I would also like to go towards the way of counseling. So something that really helped me with my mental health, and it was really bad because of overworking or burnout, and like just having some inner conflicts, was UFE counseling. I went to UFE counseling. I think I had like 3 sessions with the same counselor, and it changed my life. Let's just say that. It was my first time counseling, and it was extremely helpful. And I feel like a lot of people feel that you need to have something wrong with you for counseling. But I would say even like it's a very good process in the beginning, like just starting with it. It really helped me, and I feel like a lot of people just should take it for just like helping them. Not even they don't need anything wrong, but just like starting with it. But yeah, that's something that really helped me too.
I definitely second that. The UFE counselors are amazing. They can help you work through personal issues. They can even give you study tips on just how to be a better student. So if you have the opportunity, I would definitely book a session if you feel like it will benefit you.
Yeah, I'll just add one more thing before we move on to the next question. I know there's so much we can talk about self-care for hours. I think like for me, I used to think self-care was just like, I don't know, just like the glass of wine at the end of the week or just like the fun stuff, but like lately I've really been thinking about self-care as a mindset like that I live with and like learning to say no to things that are too much for me. And if my schedule's already full for the week, being able to care about myself enough to say, you know what, like this isn't a priority, and being able to set boundaries in my relationships and throughout my life, and being able to like prioritize what I'm gonna do to take care of myself. And sometimes that's going to the doctors, and sometimes it's like stuff we don't want to do, but it helps us to like take care of our personal wellness as well, which you need to do as a student. It's really essential, especially if you're gonna work and stuff like that. It needs to be in the back of your mind all the time that I'm gonna take care of me first and foremost.
These answers are so good. These are really good answers. And each of you had something really great to add. So thank you for taking the time to answer to answer that question. So our next question is, did you get involved in anything in your first year, and how did you find that? Would you recommend that to students? Like, when should students get involved? Did you do that in your first year? And what were you involved in?
I can go ahead.
Oh,
Oh,
sure,
sorry.
you can go
Go
first.
ahead.
Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
Okay.
I'll be.
So in my first year, I actually got involved with UFE Campus Rec. That was one of the easier and more accessible, like, kind of leadership opportunities I had. So I got to attend meetings for that, which was fun. And then I also was on the rowing team in my first year, so I did the Learn to Row program. And I thought it was really nice because I actually, between the both of those programs, was able to build connections, and that's kind of how I got my foot in the door with student life through Campus Rec. And yeah, it fulfills your experience, and it makes your like education very well-rounded, which is nice.
Yeah, totally. I feel like I learned more from getting involved in studying, if I'm being honest. Um, I was in I volunteered for the international department, so there was a program named Friends Without Border, and I know some of you were there, and I really miss it. That was a really good one. I was involved in the new student orientations, just like as a panelist, as a like student leader, which I really appreciate Megan and all the team giving me the privilege and opportunity to do so. I was involved in I actually worked like 3 jobs in UFE till now. Now being the current one being the latest one, but I was in the theater department, which was just an amazing job. I still can't believe I got paid for that. And there I used to work for the Center of Accessibility Center, which is a really nice resource that a lot of people don't know about. If you have like test anxiety, you can just go there and just like give your exam in peace and like be really comfortable. You can have teas over there. It's just really amazing. And one of the best opportunities that I ever had was from student life as a PRLC, and I know Kylie and Melanie, we used to volunteer together. I really miss those days. And obviously, my current job from the Student Union Society, which I can't believe that I get to do it as an international student. It's a privilege. But for sure, I definitely learned a lot from just volunteering, just like working in UFE and getting involved. And it's my second year, just like started the previous semester. So this was pretty much all in my first year. And if it wasn't for COVID, and I mean, I still can do a lot of stuff. They're still doing a lot of stuff, but I definitely really love that I got the chance to do that.
maybe one more.
I would just add that it's never a bad time to get involved. Anyone can get involved. I walked in the door and started. I had a mentor with UFE Lead who helped to connect me to opportunities, but there are so many different areas to get involved that first year students, in your first month, in your first few weeks of school, can definitely just walk into and get involved. It's never a bad time to get involved, and especially starting right off the bat, you're going to start to build those connections, which will definitely pay off throughout your experience. Sorry, go ahead, Kylie.
No worries. I would just say in your first year, just get out. If something interests you, try it. In my first year, I kind of just tried out a bunch of different stuff. I went to some meetings for some clubs to see what I was interested in. I did a little bit of volunteering with the Student Union Society, and then I attended SLG sessions in my first year. And that's what ultimately got me involved in that program. And I've now been with the program for 4 years. So just try different things and see what you connect with and just go for that for sure.
I'm just going to jump
Just
in for a
before
minute
we,
because there's a couple of acronyms that were thrown out that I just wanted to find. So we had the words SLG, PRLC, Campus Rec. There's a few things. And for anyone who's listening that maybe doesn't know what those acronyms are, does anyone want to jump in and share what some of the acronyms that maybe fly around? SUS, they fly around on campus. What do they mean?
And also after that, we'll have Zane chat for a minute, because I heard you, Zane. But yeah, can someone step in and define some terms for, not define terms, help us with those acronyms?
Well, considering I work at the PRLC, it's the Peer Resource and Leadership Center. So we provide one-on-one peer support, and we also host events throughout the semester. And it's a kind of holistic view for health and wellness. And then Campus Rec is campus recreation, so they do a lot of sports and other wellness activities as well, and help out with REACH. And then we can pass it off and someone can define some more.
For sure, I can go for SUS, considering I work there too. So SUS is Student Union Society. It's a society for just you guys. For me personally, I have the role of events, so I do a lot of events for SUS. We are doing a calligraphy event, which is unfortunately full now. But I would love if I can see some of you guys over there. But we are doing a paint night. We are considering doing some e-gaming, and our biggest purpose is advocating for you. So whether it's to UFB, we already made some changes in UFB while just advocating for them. So I'm very happy for that. And we advocate federally, so to the government. So our previous president and vice president external got the opportunity to just talk to Justin Trudeau, the prime minister. So these are really big opportunities for our students, and we basically provide jobs, we provide volunteering opportunities, and SUS is basically just you all, just Student Union Society. So if anybody wants to learn more, please let me know. Would love to talk for hours about that.
I'll take SLG. So SLG stands for Supported Learning Groups. So there are SLG leaders who run sessions for first-year courses and a couple second-year courses that have been shown to be historically difficult. So the program is all about getting students to collaborate with each other to figure out course concepts so that they're not reliant on their prof for information. So it's a great resource to use if your course is supported by SLG. I'm sure your leader would have already posted announcements on your course page. So if you're interested in that, I would definitely recommend attending those SLG sessions.
Great, and then Zane?
Yeah, so I think these are all extremely great points that all of you bring up, but I'd like to add just a bit of quickly the benefits. We've talked about how to get involved, where you can get involved, but there are also, UFE has this unique system called the co-curricular record, where you not only get a transcript of your grades, but also your experiences, volunteer experiences, work experiences, and those are all extremely advantageous when you're applying for co-ops or just like paid work or paid volunteer experience. And then also when you're applying for jobs once you've graduated from UFE, having a wide variety of experience will increase your chances of getting a job for sure.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the next question, actually, before we do that, I did have a question. I was thinking it'd be nice if each of you could just quickly unmute yourself and just say something that you're involved in. Some of you did already, but not everybody got a chance to speak. So I'll just call your name, and then if you could just quickly unmute yourself and say, I'm involved in blank, just so we can kind of see, some of you had mentioned, but just to reiterate some things that people can be involved in on campus or at UFE. Let's start with Bridget.
Hi, I'm involved in the Indigenous Student Center, I guess, community. I'm involved in that, so if you guys have any questions about that, let me know, and I can help you, I guess, connect with people.
Thank you. Kylie?
Yeah, so I'm involved with student life, volunteering for new student orientation, and I volunteer with the Peer Resource and Leadership Center. And then I do work for the SLG program as a leader for organic chemistry and as a mentor for our new leaders.
Pate?
Hi, I have relation with student life, so that's the only thing I do with the university.
Cambry?
I have a few different roles. I volunteer with Student Life for a new student orientation, UFE lead, the Peer Resource and Leadership Center, and then I work as an SLG leader for Max 130, Mass Communication in Canada, and then I'm also a mentor in UFE International Friends Without Borders Club.
Karina?
I work as a community assistant at Baker House.
Melanie?
So like many of the other leaders, I am a NSO leader. Within Student Life, I am a level 3 lead mentor. I work with the Peer Resource and Leadership Center at UFE, and then I'm also an executive for UFE West, so that's a club for women in engineering, science, and tech, and then also with the Pre-Med Student Association.
Sandy?
I'm with the New Student Orientation. I'm with Circle K and the English Association.
Zane?
Hi, I'm part of UFE's LEAD program as an L2 mentor.
Prep?
I am an executive for the Student Union Society, so I pretty much work with all of the departments. Fun fact, Cambry is my SLG leader for Max 130. So thank you, Cambry.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I wanted to just do that to show there's so much to get involved in on campus, and there's so much to do at UFE, and you can find all of this on My Campus Life. So yeah, you can access all of these different opportunities, and they're really great. And thank you for sharing. Okay, our next question kind of piggybacks onto getting involved, but it is it possible to make friends while doing class online? If so, how?
I'll be honest here. It's been very hard for me to make friends online because like this was pretty much my first major semester doing online courses. For Max 130, I'm very happy that Cambry is here because she can sort of echo it. But as an SLG leader, I just went to her session today at like 10. So I felt like there were like 5 people over there, and I felt it was a really nice opportunity to just connect with your fellow student from the same class. So SLG is a good way to go for connecting with the same classes.
And Prab, just to touch on that, where can students find out about joining the student learning groups? And actually, before we do that, Cambry, could you speak to what a student learning group actually is and like why students should go if their classes have one?
Yeah, so unfortunately, not every class is supported by SLG, but if it is, your leader will have either sent out an email or posted information in your Blackboard course. So again, like these courses or the courses that are supported by SLG are typically more difficult courses. So SLG sessions are group study sessions, basically, that are led by our SLG leaders. And we basically go more in depth in the material each week and have students work together with each other to go through problems, to go through all the material. So it's a really cool opportunity if your class isn't meeting on Zoom or on Blackboard, having those meeting times. Because typically we get smaller groups of students out to these because we run them multiple times a week. So this morning with Prov, we had 4 students and myself on there. So those 4 students got a chance to work together collaboratively all session for an hour and 20 minutes. So they're a great opportunity to make friends, to study with people. I totally recommend studying in groups. It really, really helps. And if you have the chance, SLG sessions are an amazing opportunity to just get the most out of your courses. Unfortunately, not every class has them, but definitely an opportunity if you do have that available.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just to reread the question for everyone, just in case we forgot, because I kind of went off on a little tangent there. Is it possible to make friends online? If so, how? I would love to get a couple more answers from people to see how they've experienced this.
Yeah, I'd like.
I'll sit back.
I'll just quickly mention that a lot of students are interested in making like study group or group chats. So if you join the UFE textbook exchange page on Facebook, lots of people have been posting on there that they want to make group chats for specific courses. And so I would take that opportunity and go through that and see if any of your courses have a group chat, or even just making a post yourself, because I'm sure there are a lot of students who also want to connect. And I would also say just get in touch if your program has like a student association. For example, there's the Biology Chemistry Student Association, and they've set up like a Discord board where students can connect with each other who are in the same course. So maybe just you could always send an email to your student association and just see if there's anything like that available to you.
Zane, did you have a thought as well?
Honestly, it was exactly what Kylie just covered, so that's great that she brought that up.
What I was going to say is for a couple of my classes, we don't have any synchronous sessions, and we had group projects and had to somehow find like people to make groups with. So I actually went through Blackboard and their email system and kind of emailed a couple people and was just like, hey, I'm kind of new to the program, like I'm minoring, I don't know many people in this program. Would you be willing to be in my group if that's something in your course? And like, do you want to study together for this course or help like review and bounce questions off each other? And that was something that worked out. It's kind of like sitting down like in your class and trying to sit next to someone new and meet them. But you can always do FaceTime as well to study with people.
Just a question, Melanie, like where can students find out about the Blackboard emailing? Like how can students find each other's emails?
Okay, so normally in your Blackboard course, there's a bunch of tabs on the left-hand side, and usually it'll say like class emails or Blackboard email, something like that. And through there, you can just go in and like see the list of students in your class, and you can click on a name or a couple people, and then you can email them. Or if you see them in a discussion board on your class or something, that might be another way. But it's whatever you're comfortable with.
Just to add to that, because I did a little bit of poking around on that today, there's 4 different ways that you can contact classmates through Blackboard. 3 of them your instructor has to allow. So you might see a tab on the side. It can actually have any name your instructor wants to give it, because all tool tabs are renameable. There's one feature where you can email people and it goes to their email associated with their student account, and your instructor would have to enable that. You can email individuals, the entire class or like specific groups in your class. So your instructor would set that all up in advance. Sometimes they enable a tab called class roster, and it actually has a list of all the folks in your class, and anyone who chooses to can update their entry in the roster with their email address. So they're self-selecting that yes, people in the course can email me. That's something your instructors might enable, or your instructor might enable a contact tab, and it just lists the preferred contact information for everyone in your course. That would be the instructor reaching out to folks to find out that information. And the fourth way is through the discussion board. So some instructors have enabled discussion boards where students are actually able to create their own threads. So you could create a thread in the discussion board that says, hey, I'm looking for people to study with me. And if you find that you're in a course where any of those 4 contact methods aren't enabled, you can email your instructor and say, hey, I really want to reach out and connect with people in my course. This is a way that you could set something up that would work with people and work within like the students' comfort zones and boundaries on how they want to be contacted at that time. Yeah, so those are all the ways in Blackboard that I investigated today. I'm happy to share.
Anyone else have some comments about making friends in this online environment?
First of all, Hillary, I would love to hear more because I need to do that and I will do that. So if you do it, I'll be the guinea pig of this experiment. I'll give you updates on what happened with me. But to the question that Megan said, a really good way that I meet friends was through volunteering and getting involved. But right now, I feel like attending events is really helpful to me because I'm meeting most of the people that I do meet over new events. So I would highly recommend doing that.
Incredible. Those are all really, really good. So that was awesome. And yes, also to add to the UFE textbook exchange, if you happen to be a new student and you're watching this, we also have a UFE incoming class Facebook group, and like pretty much we get posts every single day of students making group chats. So if you're a new student, the UFE group is called UFE 2020/21 incoming class, and you can just join that on Facebook and we will get you in there and you can start making connections with your classmates and make friends. It's a really great way to make friends there too. I'm going to do our final question because we've been going for over a half an hour. Our final one, and this is related to online learning specifically. What ways can you keep your GPA and focus/energy high through the transition to online? So how can students, keep their grades up, but also stay focused in this new online environment that can feel a little bit tiring at times?
I would say take lots of breaks. It doesn't always help to go straight onto your phone, but like get up, take a little walk around, like get a snack, get some water. Just taking those little breaks from staring at a screen definitely help. Planning out your days are a good way as well, and just being flexible with that. And just making sure that you take care of yourself is like the biggest thing. Get enough sleep. And if you're like balancing your health and wellness in that sense, it kind of fosters like strength in all other parts of your life in a sense. But yeah.
Yeah, one little thing I started to do for myself is like I wasn't very good at like making my bed every day and stuff like that. I started making my bed every morning and like getting a full water bottle, taking it to my desk, like staying in some kind of routine every morning, like to take care of myself. Another thing, take your syllabus and write down all those dates in a planner. If you don't have a planner, please get fluent with using a planner. It's gonna be a lifesaver. Either a paper one or Google Calendar works great as well. And write down all those dates because they do creep up on you. In terms of GPA, take care of yourself, but then also stay very organized and stay on top of things. It can be really easy to procrastinate when you're at home working from your bedroom. And all of us are still trying to figure out and navigate online learning too. It's new to a lot of us. It's been a learning curve for sure. But just know that this isn't normal, and you don't have to have it all figured out right now. But we're all trying to do this together, and generally your professors will be very understanding of that as well. So reach out for help if you need help. Yeah, and take care of yourself.
Mhm. I would like to add on to that. Really nicely said, Cambry. And I would say that the planner thing really is a lifesaver. What I'm currently using for my planner is an app named Notion, and ironically, it's just in front of me. So this is the app right now. So week of 1724, it's so detailed. Like I can just make anything that I want. So like this is all master review meetings 21 September, 22nd, 25th. And if I were to make a page, I can just like make some page if in case my thoughts get like sidetracked, and I can just like put in anything PRLC plan. So I can just like do that, and this is really life saving for me. So like events, random things, work, meetings, workouts. So everything is just in one stage, in one organizer, and you can access it through phone, iPhone, anything. So it's really nice. And guys, Zoom fatigue is really real. I have experienced it a lot. It just like breaks you apart sometimes. It's so stressing on you. Water is really helping me, and do take a lot of breaks. That's just like simple and really working advice that does work for me. But I would just say take care of yourself. Get the things that you always wanted by slowly. So like plants is something that I always wanted, and just like be careful of your budget, but do treat yourself every now and then.
Amazing. I want a couple more. Yes, Kylie, take it away.
I would just like to say, don't feel pressure about taking a certain amount of courses or trying to finish your degree on time. You have a lot of time. You don't have to try finish in 4 years. I decided to do a 5th year just for my mental health, and so I took care of myself a bit better. And don't feel bad if you have to withdraw from a course. If you decided that what you're doing is just too much for you right now, drop a course. It's not going to harm you in any way. So just take a look and see what you need. And if you do need to withdraw from a course, I would highly recommend doing that. It'll help you take care of yourself better.
Anyone who hasn't shared too much yet, we'd lovely to hear from you and hear how you're managing in this online world, and how you're making sure your focus is good and your academics, keeping them up and stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to quickly.
Oh, sorry, you can go first. I'll go after.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think the UFE, actually something I recently discovered is that they have a calendar on Blackboard where you can see all of your assignments, when they're due, even tests and quizzes. I think if you go to, say, any class, you go to the left side where it has all like the course contents and my grades. There will be a calendar button there, and you hit on that, and then it will show you a calendar not only of that course, but of any other courses. Even I know UFE lead content, I'm in the UFE lead, and it gives me deadlines for UFE lead on that calendar as well. One thing I really love about that calendar is you can enable and unenable certain courses. So if I only want to see one of my courses and see when the deadline is for that course, I just enable all the other courses, and then I get very specific feedback. So that is really nice. If you don't want to build your own calendar, you can just use UFE's. Apart from that, I want to echo kind of what other people have said, and self-care is so important, not just for your happiness, but for your health. And those are what will, at the end, apart from hard work, those will really affect how you perform and how much you will get out of your university experience. So one of the things I've recently started is like these 20-minute naps. Some of us, we don't get like the classic 9 hours, which is what a young adult should get in sleep. I think probably most of us get around 8 or 7 hours per day. And I'm definitely in that category. So I go for a 20-minute nap around 3 o'clock, where I'm just, relaxing, not really looking to fall into a deep sleep, but just get my thoughts out, relax. And then I wake up after, 20, 30 minutes and I feel good for another 2 hours of very productive, studying. So that can very, very much help you if you're not getting the full amount of sleep during the night.
Yeah, I just wanted to say like what everyone else has been saying about like self-care and taking breaks, and like really do say no when you do need a break or you need to like not take that course load or take that shift. Like really focus on yourself because you want to get the best you can out of your education and your experience at university.
Any final thoughts?
I wanted to share a little bit. There's two things that we talk about a little bit in the UFE Lead program. One of them is to not pay attention to the shoulds, and that's sort of been mentioned a little bit here when they say you don't have to take 5 courses, you don't have to finish in 4 years. Like just because you should do this or you should do that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right decision for you. Your mind will tell you, your body will tell you when things are working right, and also when support. So looking for support when you need it. There's a couple. Peer Resource and Leadership Center, they have a line that you can call this year, since we're not on campus and in person, to talk to a peer and just share what's going on for you, and they're trained to help connect you with other resources on campus at UFE, which is really cool. UFE Counseling is a great resource. The Academic Success Center can help you with stuff related to your classes, but also related to just like study skills or things like that, where you can talk to other students and get their perspectives, because like they're going through all of these things at the same time, so they have a lot of good advice to give, just like everybody on this panel. And another thing that I like to talk about is celebrating your successes. It's so hard sometimes to feel motivated when all you're looking at is a to-do list, or thinking about all of the things you want to like improve about yourself in order to like be able to get a job or build up your skills. And sometimes when you take a step back and look behind you at all of the things you've been able to accomplish, and you're proud of yourself and you find ways to celebrate, like, hey, I'm gonna bake myself some cupcakes to celebrate that I did a really good job on that test, or even that I just did that test, like celebrate that. I got up today, I did the work, I did the thing, I talked to my friend, whatever it is, celebrate it and pat yourself on the back and use that feeling of accomplishment to move forward into the next thing. Those are two things that I think are really important.
I would just like to say one last thing. I know I've spoken a lot. I do want to give everybody a chance to speak up. But something that really used to help me, so like by my nature, I'm very anxious about like what will happen in the future. Like, would I get everything done? And just like experience a lot of resistance when trying to do new things. So it does take me some time to sometimes get started, and that's okay, but it gets better with practice. But something that extremely helped me with everything was practicing meditation. Like, you don't have to go to a religious or spiritual side to it to experience any benefits. You just need to have 10 minutes, stay still, even guided meditation, music, or just focus on your breath, and it makes the difference, like a lot of difference in everything. You sleep better, you feel better about yourself, you get a new perspective on things, that everything is not as bad as you think it is. You just get an outsider perspective. So meditation is highly recommended. Yeah, but that's all I'll say about that. I would let your experience do the talking for you about that.
Wow. I think that wraps us up. Truly, it does. This was really incredible. Thank you to all of our panelists that are here today and took the time out to share some of your knowledge with the students, and you have so much to offer. So I really appreciate it. And thank you to those who are listening. And I hope you found this interesting. And if you do need some extra help or you have any generic questions, you can follow us at ufe.nso, or you can email us at orientation@ufe.ca. And so those are two ways you can reach us. And yeah, feel free to join our incoming class Facebook group. But other than that, I think that really wraps us up. I'm going to stop recording now so we can all say our goodbyes, and then I'll stop recording. So thank you so much.